Hi, I'm Kathy Dodson.
And I'm Jocelyn Lindsay. Welcome to another episode of 5 Minute Indie Insights, publishing tips and tricks in 5 minutes because you should be writing, not listening to us.
That's right. So, we're talking about a big one today. How much does it cost to self-publish a book? This is a great question. And of course, it depends.
Depends. I hate that answer, but it's so true. And, we want to be completely honest with you here. So we're going to share some actual costs with you about what you can, so that you know what to expect when you go into the self-publishing route. So we're going to break down the top 5 essential things that you're going to need to budget for.
Now, number one is editing. If you're a new author, and sometimes even if you're not, we highly recommend a developmental edit. It is like a masterclass on writing where your novel is the subject matter. It is honestly like going to college. Believe us, you don't know what you don't know about writing a book until you've had a good developmental edit. And they're expensive. Trust me, I've had lots of them. You're likely to pay somewhere between $800 and $3,000, maybe even more. But you can pay less, and you can skip this step. But a good developmental edit is worth its weight in gold.
Yeah, absolutely. Because if readers don't like your first book because it's littered with plot holes, logic problems, head hopping, or grammatical errors, they're probably not going to give you a second chance, and they may even leave a bad review. So, developmental editing is often charged by the word, starting usually around a penny per word and rising to sometimes 5 cents or more, depending on the editor you hire. We'll don't worry though. We're going to do a future episode about how to hire a good editor.
Yep. Now, number two, remember, this is for people who are self-publishing. So this is really important. The number two thing you need to pay for is an ISBN number. ISBN stands for International Standard Book Number, and it's how your book is identified globally. So you must have one. The only official source of ISBN numbers in the United States is Bowker. You can find them at www.bowker.com. They're expensive, $150 each, or you can buy a bundle of 10 for $295, and sometimes you can find discounts on them.
And buying a bundle is really important because for every version of your book or every format of your book that you publish, you need a unique ISBN number. So if you have an ebook, a paperback, a hardcover, and an audiobook, that's 4 separate ISBN numbers. And if you're buying them at $150 a piece, that's $600 for those ISBN numbers. If you want to save money, if you think you're going to save money, there's many companies that you can use, like Amazon or Ingram Spark, that are going to give you a free ISBN number, but be very careful because once somebody else gives your book an ISBN number, they are the registered publisher and they're the ones on record for having published that book. And it can be tricky sometimes if you decide you want to go a different route. And we want to make sure, since you are self-publishing, you remain in control of what you're doing.
Yes, so it's our recommendation that you have your own ISBN number, and we do understand it's expensive.
So, number 3, you've heard us talk about this before, covers, but we're going to talk about it again. So you can expect to pay somewhere between $35 and $1,000 or more for your book covers. And this should include, at minimum, an ebook and a paperback cover.
Right, your cover is your number one marketing asset, but you don't want to spend more money than you have to. And you can always come back and have a new cover made. So don't worry about that.
Yeah. And like I said, you're going to hear us talk about covers over and over again. But now, number 4, proofreading. This is a critical step. It may be impossible to catch every single error in your book, but you need to be sure you're publishing the highest quality novel possible if you want good reviews and return readers.
That is so true. And like with developmental editing, proofreaders usually charge by the word. I'm currently using a proofreader who charges 0.004 cents per word, and she is excellent.
I can second that. She's amazing. And I'm sending a book off to her here soon too. So find a good proofreader. Don't skip the proofreading step. Number 5, interior design. Now, if you have good computer skills and a decent design eye, you can use Vellum, which is for Macs, or you can use Atticus, which is for PCs, and they have a one-time purchase fee, and you can design your own book interior. Hiring a hiring a designer for a book and a paperback will use for an ebook and a paperback can usually run between $400 and $800 depending on the designer and the complexity of your novel. And the thing to keep in mind is if somebody else is designing the interior, you're going to have to contact them and probably pay for them for every little change that you make to that manuscript. Whereas if you own the software, you can make the changes and you can fix things yourself without having to go back to that interior designer.
And that saves not only money, but time because you have to get in their queue to change things. So if you've got the computer skills, we recommend using either Vellum or Atticus for the interiors of your books. Jocelyn and I both do this. I use Atticus.
I do too.
Um, so these are just a few of the costs. When you self-publish, there are many other expenses that will crop up. You're going to need a website. We haven't even talked about marketing. You'll want early reader copies, social media. You may want to form a publishing company. And then there's, when we talk about marketing, there's ads, there's all these different things that you can do. There's book promos. So there's a lot of other expenses. And we'll talk about these in future issues or future episodes of the show. But we wanted to get the basics that you really had to have.
Yeah, because self-publishing is not cheap. It's doable, but it's not necessarily cheap when you start adding all the costs up. Publishing a high quality book is probably going to cost you somewhere between $500 and $5,000, depending on the people you hire to help you. If you hire people to help you, if you do it yourself.
That's right. So hopefully we've given you some of the information you need to make a good decision about your publishing path and not be surprised. Good
Yeah.
luck.
Yeah, good luck. And now stop listening to us and go write.
Bye.
Maybe goodbye. Not goodbye yet.